Hello Warhammer enthusiasts, welcome back to our channel where we're diving into discussion about Warhammer The Old World. Today we have an intriguing topic to explore together. Has Games Workshop changed track or even altered its plans for Warhammer The Old World? If you've been following the first preview articles on the Warhammer community like I have, you may have noticed a focus on Kislev and Cathay, especially in the older articles. However, we were recently taken by surprise when Games Workshop did not mention either of these factions at all in the preview at Warhammerfest, instead favouring Bretonnia and the Tomb Kings. Games Workshop revealed during the recent Q&A that the release of Cathay is still very far away, leaving us wondering about their intentions. Are they building anticipation, or have they altered their vision for the old world? Today we'll examine the clues, analyse recent statements and discuss the implication of these developments. So let's dive into this topic together and see what insights we can uncover.
Well, Tom, as soon as you brought this topic to me, this most interesting topic, I thought what I would do is I will have a look at all the old community articles released on the Warhammer community and go through them and see what was being said at that point and compare and contrast that to what I heard when I was at Warhammerfest. So I went back and there were three articles, one from 2020, one from 2021, and one from 2022. So all at least a year to 3 years old, that said some interesting things. So what I'll do is I've taken a little paragraph from each one and I'll rattle through it. And then I'll kind of go through with you what my impression was at Warhammerfest. And then after that, we will discuss, have Games Workshop changed their mind? Why were they leaning into Cathay and Kislev so much, and now we've not heard anything at all? And just kind of share our thoughts and our musings on that, if that's all right with you.
Sounds good.
So the first article was from the 11th of May 2020, and that one was called Old World Update Bears. And the little text that I've taken away from that is, we can't wait to see the bear cavalry that will be coming to Warhammer The Old World. They're a long way away from being models yet, but we've secured some stunning concept sketches of what you will be able to expect. So a bit of a confirmation there that we will be getting bear cavalry in Warhammer The Old World. The next article, which was nearly a year later to the day, the 13th of May 2021, again about bears. This was for Warhammer Total War 3 and the gameplay trailer where it was the Kislev bear that fights the giant demon. And it was mostly about Warhammer Total War, but at the end, there was a little bit about the old world. And it says, we do have one more thing to share. As you'll have gathered by now, the Kislev units appearing in Total War Warhammer 3 are being designed for Warhammer The Old World by our very own creative team. So all that artwork, all that design, everything that you see in Warhammer Total War 3, if you're a fan of Warhammer Total War 3, brilliant news, because those are the models, those are the concepts that we are taking to the tabletop in Warhammer The Old World, is what I got from that. And the last one was from the 18th of February 2022, and this was about Grand Cathay when they came out in Total War, and they said Grand Cathay is mapped for the first time in Warhammer The Old World. So it says, though this nation's full appearance in the world of Warhammer can be seen in the just released Total War 3, Cathay will also be coming to the tabletop in the upcoming Warhammer The Old World. And it ended with, thanks, Owen. There'll be a lot more to come from Grand Cathay in the old world in due course. And then that was the last we heard of it. So then the narrative, all the articles have pretty much focused in on just the old world. They haven't spoken about Kislev or Cathay kind of since that point. We've had a look at the Empire. We've had a look at Bretonnia. And we've seen some new models at Warhammerfest. And we've seen some concepts for other parts of new models. And the focus there was just Bretonnia and Tomb Kings. And yeah, nothing to be heard of Kislev or Cathay. After they did the reveal show, they did a Q&A, and somebody did ask about Cathay, and they said, when will Cathay be coming? When will we see that? Obviously, it's been in the article. And they said that is in the far distant future. So it just seems a bit odd, and obviously it was something that you brought to my attention, Tom, that initially it was all Cathay, all Kislev, and now it's not. I suppose
it feels like weird to kind of like put your finger on it and kind of identify what's gone on, right? But it definitely feels a bit strange.
Yeah.
I to me, my thinking is it was trying to hype up and get people excited for the game, which I can only assume based on those articles they were trying to push this out at the same time and hit that release window. Because it's the first time we're seeing Cathay in the game, and it's the first time in a long time you're seeing Kislev.
So do you mean they were trying to get a side-by-side release for? So we talk about the bears and the concept art being ready in 2020. Then we see the trailer for Warhammer Total War in 2021, and then you think some point after that they were hoping to have released models.
Yeah, I mean,
but
like
COVID happened and all the rest of it.
Yeah, almost to the day. Like it would have been, boom, Warhammer Total War freeze out, and then within a short while, if not before, we're seeing the old world at the same time. If that makes sense, like capitalize on all of the hype that the Warhammer Total War Warhammer brings to the old world. It's the reason it come back. It's the reason people were talking about it again, right? Is because of that game series. So why would you not try and marry those two releases up?
Well, there were some old grumblers around, like myself, saying, you know, I want to play a rank and file game by Games Workshop.
Yeah.
But you're right. The new resurgence of interest in it is from the game. My personal opinion is that perhaps because they were working, who is it who makes this game?
Creative Assembly.
Yeah, because they were working with Creative Assembly anyway on the concepts to make sure that everything's right because it's their own IP, and they've done all the concept work. They were thinking, right, brilliant. Well, this is the groundwork for the game that we're going to release. So why not, you know, start having these articles? But however, you know, kind of the realistic thing is that creating a whole army like Cathay or Kislev from scratch is a very big undertaking. And although they do plan to do it, and they have done the maps and they have done the artwork, and as they've said, it is coming. Actually, it's too big an undertaking for the release, and what they need to do to be able to push the game out is to bring back some old kits and add some updates rather than having complete new factions. I wonder if that's the case. Although, you know, why not just wait? Why not wait until it's all ready and then release it as new?
I struggle with that just because they could wait, but they release new lines all the time, and it's not. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities to release for the start of a game. How many would you have to do? You'd have to do like 4, maybe 4 multi-part kits that make 2 units each, and a couple of heroes.
The other part of it that I was thinking was that although Cathay and Kislev will really appeal to people who are playing Warhammer Total War 3, I don't know how much they appeal to someone like me, who is a big Warhammer Fantasy Battles fan, but hasn't played the computer games. If they said, Dan, Cathay's coming out, I don't know how excited I would be excited, but if they say to me, they're re-releasing Britonia and Tomb Kings, not only does that feed into the people who play Total War because they're factions in Total War, it also gets the old hobbyists like me excited. So I think that might be a reason why that actually when they did their market research and they think who's going to buy this game day one, it might take a little while to get the people who are interested in Total War on board in playing a tabletop game instead of a computer game. But they'll have my money release day, and they need to do something, I guess, that hits that nostalgia factor.
It seems to me like they changed their mind about a year ago, maybe a year and a half. So in like a year and a half's time, they've designed a new range of models. Like maybe it's new Bretonians, new Beast Kit, new
Tomb Kings,
or new Greenskins and new Empire to go in a start as the not starter set. When they said I don't know, my mind's just gone wild then, but they were saying they were doing that 3 years ago now.
Yeah, I suppose so. I think one of the criticisms was that, you know, they have had 3 years since they announced it, more than that now. And actually, what have they brought forward? They've brought forward 2 models and from pre-existing ranges. So, yeah, it has been a slow development. But, you know, this is, I personally think that, look, this is the very first thing we've seen. Okay, it hasn't lived up to the expectation because you're not seeing the starter box. It's not the launch of the game.
No.
You're not getting the big cinematic trailer and here's your Leviathan box like they have for 40K.
No, that's it.
You're getting a work in progress still.
Yeah.
We're closer to where we were. But I think, you know, we don't know how much they need to get ready. I would say that I would kind of just hold your horses and reserve judgment too much until you see the final article.
Yeah.
Because there may be more coming than you think.
Yeah, absolutely. The reason I thought about and raised the topic with you was that reason exactly. I was like, if I didn't know the Warhammer Old World was coming out, and then at Warhammerfest they released those 2 models, and like we were having this discussion now, we're starting this YouTube journey now, how much more hyped would I be? Right? If it was just like, oh my goodness, like 2 new models have just been shown off, we knew nothing about it. Maybe except for like a rumor or 2, because it's impossible to get away from the rumor mill. It seems all. and that was it. You're like, boom, first video of the channel is these 2 new amazing models that have just been shown off.
I guess, are you trying to say, why have Games Workshop almost thrown us off the scent with like 2 years of articles talking about things that are actually really far away even now?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's where I'm going. Like building hype for things that are still could be like 4 or 5 years out, or they could release, you know, next week if you don't, if they stealth release them.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'd love to hear your guys' comments or read your comments below, because it is a really interesting topic. There does definitely seem to have been a shift. My personal opinion is that they were just doing it because Total War was coming out and they had the artwork, and it probably will be artwork that we see in the rule book, and it will be feed into the maps that we see. And but perhaps they should have stopped short of saying you're going to see these models. They talk specifically about the Bear Cavalry, saying it's coming to the Old World.
Yeah, if they didn't say that, you'd have got the exact flavor of the articles, right?
So when they've said that, and then they said the same about Cathay, well, I was just thinking, right, brilliant. It's a Cathay Kislev starter box, not a start box.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking as well right at the start. I'm sure you even said it in a video.
Yeah, so that's what we wanted to discuss. Those are our personal thoughts about it. Obviously, it's a big undertaking. COVID came along in a way. Does it hit that nostalgia factor? But is nostalgia factor all they need? Really, they need to bring people like us back, but they need new people to play this game. Yeah. So, you know, so they do want to highlight that they're working with Creative Assembly. Hopefully at launch they will have something like that. I mean, we're going way off topic now, but I did think to myself, why have they changed the timeline when you could have the same timeline as Creative Assembly? But I think that probably is a video in its own right.
That probably is a whole different slice of pie we could get into.
All right, well, join us next time when we'll be discussing that very topic. But in the meantime, be sure to leave a comment, be sure to subscribe, and be sure to like if you've enjoyed this. And we'll catch you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.